Welcome everyone to the 18th Annual Tallgrass Film Festival. I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors and all of you for joining us. We couldn't do it without you. If you're enjoying yourself, please let everyone know on your Facebook and your Instagram. Tag us at Tallgrass Film and hashtag Tallgrass 2020. I would like to welcome Yuma Slowbinder from, well, we got 2 films this year, which is pretty rad. Yeah. So we got Asparagus 2 and Space Tape, which I just adored both of them. Welcome, Yuma.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. I don't know. Why don't you want to give us a real quick bio? Who is Yuma Slowbinder?
I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I live in New York. I work in movies. I have a day job in probably mostly advertising, but I do some music videos too. And then in my spare time, I direct stuff that plays at festivals like this. Yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, I'm really happy to have you here. So then I guess before we get into, just kind of chatting about the 2 films. So, obviously if it's not your day job and you're setting aside time for it, I mean, you obviously love filmmaking. What was it that, made you want to make films? Was there a time in your life where you saw something or there was a movie or something that was just like, yep, I want to do that?
Yeah.
Or any inspirations?
I was lucky enough to have cool parents and a lot of like babysitters that my mom would hire had really good taste in films. They'd play them for me and my sister. So I think I grew up watching a lot of stuff. I wanted, I don't know, I always was into kind of obnoxious artsy shit. I think I remember when I watched Being John Malkovich for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, like that. I mean, that's a great movie that a lot of assholes like me really enjoy. But I didn't know that movies could make you feel that way. I don't know. I never like engaged in a piece of art that had made me feel the things I felt when I watched that movie. So I think that's what. I think that movie might have been what made me apply to film school.
That's awesome.
I'm sure about that though.
It's a great film.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
It's really great. And it's also, I like, kind of weirdly looking back on that movie. The fact that Spike is from advertising and had like a very kind of pragmatic, I think he was like the first. I've like sort of since then kind of started, I like interned at MJZ when I was in college, and so that was really neat to have like a full circle thing with that film, and kind of hearing about how I think he was the first like true video kid. That might be not like a sound film history statement to me, but like someone who came out of like making skate videos and not doing anything that was really high art and something that was like really very playful. I don't know. I think he's like a very good prequel to, I don't know, whatever the Vine kids are going to start making now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that, I don't know. Geez, that was a really inarticulate, long, rambling thing.
Oh, I think that was a great answer. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the kind of the artsy kind of side of things, but also it's, it's playful and music videos and all of that. I mean, I think you can definitely see those influences there. And I mean,
Harmony Korine's like that too.
Oh yeah.
I stole this hat from him, but or not from him personally, but like he wore this on the beach film. I was like, that's such a fucking great thing for a director to wear.
Yes.
L. Ron Hubbard captain's hat. But yeah, like he's a very makes sort of ostensibly artsy fare, but like every dumb stoner I know will like want to put on Spring Breakers or Gaspar Noé. I'm sure I'm listing a lot of dudes. I'm sure there's some women filmmakers.
Oh.
Someone can hit me up for good connects to diversify my canon. Let me know. But yeah, like people who make formally interesting shit that you actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what interests me and what made me want to make movies.
Cool. So you said you went to film school. Where did you go to film school?
I went to a big fancy one that doesn't need any more
Yeah, it doesn't need it.
from anyone.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, did you, because nowadays it's kind of like some people say go to film school, some people say don't, do it on your own. I mean, did you find it really beneficial in kind of your growth?
I met some great people, like some really great people. So I most of my really good friends now I met in film school. And not just filmmakers, but actors and dancers and yeah, like being in a kind of conservatory setting was great because I got to hang around people who are much better at what I do than I am.
Just soak it all up.
Yeah, the worst feeling to feel is to feel like you're the smartest person in the room, and I never have felt like that in the past 10 years of my life. And I'm always looking up to the people around me and the people I got to get on my sets. Like that's huge. Like having a cast and crew and especially the film school I went to had just a really great, it was really, really good for I mean, it's known for directors, but it's also got some great DPs who've come out of it. And so having like working with some really fantastic cinematographers and especially like my G&E crew, like, like here, come work on my dumbass movie about asparagus for free. And then, they're off and like, being union guys on, Jesus Christ, maybe I shouldn't say that. You should cut that out. I'm sure they've all done jobs illegally. You don't have to do it. I don't. Yeah. Not all of them, maybe one or two. But yeah, it's like I'm standing on the shoulders of a lot of people. But in terms of the education itself, like you don't.
Yeah, it seems like that's a general consensus is like you either get your hands on equipment that you wouldn't be able to get your hands on normally, or at least as easily or cheaply, and the networking and the people that you end up working with for years and years and years. So I was just curious. I'm always interested to hear people's feedback on film school.
Good professors. I mean, not that they can teach you anything, because how the fuck do you teach someone how to make movies in a film school? I mean, like I learned more in 3 months in the advertising world than I did in 4 years, but it's generally inspirational to be around smart older people, and they have lots of war stories, and that, even if that's not like technically like educational, I think that is really, really valuable.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
So like to be inspired when you're 18 is that's a holy thing. So.
Yeah, go out and make some movies. So then I guess first up, let's talk about Asparagus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an Asparagus 1?
Yeah,
there was. Okay.
Yeah, Asparagus 1 was this great film.
Yeah.
I think it's Susan Pitt is the director. Anyways, it already happened. It is the great American asparagus movie. So we're coming in for a close second.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to step on her toes, and I needed to pay off.
So that was not your project.
No,
you came in and just did the second.
With our project at all.
Oh, okay.
Other than it's also about asparagus, but it's like it's a great. I mean, like just a really amazing animated masterpiece about femininity and magic and vulnerability um, and the all of the kind of inner complexes that it's amazing. It's a masterpiece. We didn't
Okay.
make that, but we're
Oh,
making it. We're coming in second.
a, a close second. It sounds like I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, let me make sure I've got the director's name right. That would be
Okay.
really embarrassing if I get it wrong out the group.
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah, you can check that. That's for sure.
Pitt. Yeah, Susan Pitt. I think it's on Criterion Channel.
Okay.
Susan.
Okay. I was unfamiliar with that, so thank you for the recommendation. I will
Oh
check
yeah.
that out for sure. So asparagus too. So where did this idea come from? Where's,
Oh.
where's asparagus two born from?
Oh. I mean, it comes. It's a really specific thing,
Is it okay?
but man, I don't. Fuck, man. I don't know if I should say.
You don't have to say whatever you
It,
don't want to say.
it was a. It came all at once.
Okay.
And yeah, the first draft, I think we went right from the first draft into rehearsals and pre-pro.
Oh
Like,
wow.
we added some things afterwards. There was a couple of, I think that the like last joke about that alcohol cart getting rolled in was that kind of came to be in rehearsal. So Steve and Skylar, definitely, I mean, pretty much I'll give them credit. That just kind of came. I think Steve actually came up with like the idea for the joke, and that just sort of arose in rehearsal. But everything that we needed to book space and send to SAG and like get insurance, like all of the technical shit was already in the screenplay from the first draft onward.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know.
Okay.
Maybe that shows. Maybe we'll watch that movie. Like, what was this? The second draft? Like, spend more time, but
No,
yeah.
I think it's amazing. I was trying to wrap my head around it. Like, what does this all mean? But
Yeah. Who
all
knows?
well, and I think that's great. Who does know? I mean, that's what really struck me with both of your films, and why I really wanted to talk to you is like, I don't know, even I get hung up too when we make things that you want it to you get this idea in your head that everything's got to be spelled out, it's got to make perfect sense, it's got, and then you kind of lose track of just like making art and making something different and making something. It can be thought provoking or it can just be abstract. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can make a film, and I love not having all the answers, I guess.
Yeah. And you don't want all the answers.
No.
I mean, who like uh, there's a Louis Buñuel quote about it. Um, something. I'm gonna butcher this, but it's like, what is it? Mystery is a uh, fuck. I've got the autobiography. How long do you have for this, man? I'm getting
I don't know. I got time. I've
hours, but
got I
I
got
grab
time,
the
man.
book and try to look it up.
You go ahead, man.
Yeah, if you need to like move it along, let me know. But
Okay, you're good.
oh shit, where is it? Oh, please let me have it. I reference it so much that I don't know where I put it last. Oh, here it is. All right, cool. This I brought up when my DP and we got together to make a shot list, and he basically was like, these are all the things that are wrong with your movie, and then we like just sat around and drank beer and listened to techno music for like 2 hours, and he like made me kind of hammer out all the problems with it, and I remember at some point while we were in that midst, I was like, this is what the movie's about, man. Started off my bookshelf. Um, oh yeah, here it is. Oh my God, I found it, and it wasn't even like 10 minutes long.
Dude.
Um, I still have my imagination, and in its impregnable innocence, It will keep me going until the end of my days. All this compulsion to understand things fills me with horror. I love the unexpected more and more as I get older. The older I get, even though little by little I'm retired from this world. And he says that actually a couple of times. Oh yeah, here this is actually earlier. You could like flip it in the edit, like cut out my little ums and ers, make me sound like really articulate,
Okay.
you know,
Let me make a note.
and well read and spoken.
I think you already sound that way, but
Oh wow, thank you. Um, this rage to understand, to fill in the blanks, only makes life more banal. If we could only have the courage to leave our destiny to chance, to accept the fundamental mystery of our lives, then we might be closer to the sort of happiness that comes with innocence. Um, yeah, I know. I mean, like he said it best, and hopefully, like Asparagus kind of talks about it a little bit. But um,
well, yeah. I mean, I love the line. It just says, "How can you know something if you don't experience it?"
yeah,
And it's, I don't know. It kind of threw me for a loop, but I loved it. Where did you know these guys before the project, Steve and Skylar?
oh yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
both incredible.
Yes, they're both great. Steve, I met. I was on a job. I was on a film that Louise, my producer, was making upstate, and there were all these actors, and we were all living in this house, and Steve and I like kind of hit it off. He's I don't want to reveal too much about everyone's personal lives or my day job, but him and I actually do the same job on set as not directors or actors. We have the same day job, so we like kind of hit it off on that, and it was cool also to like meet a really amazing actor who was also like a crew person. Um,
Yeah,
it kind of had the same, just like got rid of all of that actory bullshit so many actors have. And Skylar, who, well, being a consummate actor, um, also doesn't have any of that. He's dating a really amazing lighting designer. Like he's kind of has so much respect for the techie side of things, and um, kind of will be able to let go of fetish quickly. And Skylar and I go, wait, I met him in high school.
oh, okay, cool.
Um, yeah, that's kind of my requirement for anyone, like DPs, art directors, production designers, you know, down to like the PAs. Like if, but especially with the actors, if anyone can just let go of their technique fetish, then you are welcome on my set any day.
And just kind of like be free
Yeah,
to
like
just
just
kind of go for it.
away from like, oh, you read some cool interview where you heard that, you know, like an actor walks around like a chicken for half an hour before the film starts. Like, go fuck yourself, man. Like just work on, all we care about at the end of the day is what the audience feels. I don't care how we get there. And same thing goes for DPs. Like you meet so many student DPs, and I'm sure I went through a similar phase. I'm sure someone's complaining about me doing the same thing as a director, but you know, you get some DP and they're like, well, we have to shoot on this one anamorphic lens that was invented in 1973. And it's like, no one cares about that. They really don't. No one in the audience is sitting there and being like, you know, this would be so much better if it was shot on the like ultra primes with or if they just implemented the Meisner technique and the it's like, no, like
It's a pretty small subset of people that are gonna be picking that out.
yeah. And even people who are like, I should be the person to pick that out. I never think that when I watch a movie. Sometimes I watch a movie, I'm like, I'm going to analyze this. But if it's a good movie, you're not.
Yeah, you shouldn't be analyzing all of those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, yeah, I think that so much to be said about working with people, not only that you're comfortable with, but you know that are just willing to just be and just kind of come along for the ride, and you don't have to like put up with a bunch of
Yeah.
nonsense. So the other film that I love to talk about is Space Tape.
Space Tape.
Space Tape is so cool.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
Yeah, well, because I watched it the first time I watched it, earlier this year, just in programming, I was like, "What? Wait, oh, so this one connects, and then this one, and then I realized, oh no, these are just three completely different stories. How did Space Tape come about, or are they all combined in this cosmic world? Like, what's up with what's happening here?"
There's an ugly truth about Space Tape. I don't know if it's ugly. But I just needed a portfolio.
Yeah. Okay.
I was about to graduate school, and I really needed to get a job. And so I just needed to show people that I could like do a couple of things. This is the devil's lettuce talking. I don't think I've admitted this to anyone, even my very close friends. But I wrote this whole bullshit because I knew that no one wanted to watch it. I didn't know how I could put a 20-minute long film about important things on a resume that would help me pay the rent after college. So I just thought I'm just gonna shoot 5 or 10 1-minute long films. I just saw Tierra Whack, the musician. I owe a lot to her. I saw this like visual album that she did where she released this album and it's all 1-minute songs. And it was her debut album. So it's a perfect debut album because it's just like 15 easy to digest ideas. And the music video is just like one 15-minute long music video and you watch it from beginning to end. And so I was like, wow, it seems like a really nice constraint. It also seems like a very pragmatic thing to do from an economic perspective because I can just shoot as much shit as possible and I can send that out. Hopefully that'll get me some gigs. So this is the thing I've never admitted. I like wrote up this whole bullshit justification for this to try to get it made in film school. And my professor actually sniffed it out pretty well. I think he was like, this is a commercial exercise. And before I never said that. Like I spent years like talking about how this guy wouldn't let me make this movie. But he was right. It was just me trying to get jobs. But then I like went and whined and bitched and moaned until they finally let me make it. I had these 5 films. 2 of them, one of them we released really early because our choreographer needed it like out for her visa. So I was like, well, fuck it, we'll just put it online. And then the one of them just didn't work. It just kind of fell flat. It was like a dumb idea. And then the other 3 I had, and I was thinking about submitting them to film separately. I was like, film festival separately, or I didn't really know what to do with them, but they were a nice thing to put on a reel. If people were like, hey, can you do something that's artsy and eraser heady? I'd be like, here's this. And it's like, hey, can you do dialogue? And I'd be like, oh, here's the first one. And yeah, I was like wondering if I even wanted to submit to film festivals. And then my producer, Louise, was like, well, you should submit to film festivals. Also, here are these amazing strategists that I know. So I think I literally I don't even think I used the master files. I just threw like 3 of the H.264 files together kind of at random into like one. I just like dragged them all into Premiere and then exported it and put it on Vimeo and sent it to the festival formula, just like cold, no context. And they came back to me with this beautiful write-up about how it's like a triptych about death and this amazing experimental film and how they'd love to represent it. And I was like, all right, cool. Like so yes,
that's awesome.
It's really, I don't even feel like any interesting ideas you can divine from that short, you can thank festival formula. There was no plan to make it what it is now, which I don't know. I'm afraid if I say that and someone really enjoyed it, maybe that's gonna have like an emperor has clothes reveal or something.
No, we're here for the scoop. Getting the scoop on Space Tape. No, that's really awesome, and I think it's really, really brilliant too. you know, to say, well, I'm just going to do these wholly different things and put them together and use that as kind of a jumping off point for people to say, like, oh, you can do this, or you can do this, you can do this. And I definitely got the Eraserhead vibes from the second part, which is just incredible. Did you build that? Is that miniatures? The rocks and stuff?
Our, Abby, our production designer, built all of those. She did a really amazing job. So that's all miniature, and then the tape we like dropped that, so that's practical. It's not like if I was doing that now, I'd probably do it in 3D, but I had no idea how to do it at the time, so we had to like physically drop the tape. Awesome scaffolding, and that was a weird fun day. I think it was like one of the last days of the week, and everyone just like was totally going insane. And I remember one way the light hit it, it just all looked like a bunch of dicks lined up that we were filming. Max, I think Max gaffing that? Max, our gaffer, was just losing it. It's dicks. We'd all like became 12-year-olds.
That's how it gets.
Shooting is really hard.
Miniature shooting is?
Yeah, because you don't have like actors to try to, actors are usually attractive, confident people. And so you got these actors and you need to like sit around and look like the sexiest version of yourself, and like you really know what you're doing. But when it's a miniature, it's just like me and all my fucking goofy friends.
Just trying to get something done.
Yeah, we're all like so professional. Like all of these fuckers like work on Lynn Ramsey films. I set just like joke about how the shit looks like a bunch of penises. I'm glad I provide that in their lives. I hope.
Yeah. I was just talking to someone the other day, and she was saying that, she does a lot of like TV work and stuff like that, and acting, and there's a big separation between her and the crew, or the crew and the directors and all that sort of stuff. They literally bring you in, you do your thing, and then you're gone. And she's like, I'd much rather be on an independent set with people I want to hang out with, and we can kind of get goofy and be have fun. And I mean, that's the dream right there.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, I don't make any money off of this. This isn't my main source of income. Why on earth would I want to be spending time that people usually spend? I don't know why I just compulsively untangled that. I'm not going to use them. I don't know why.
I think right now you put the earbuds in. Just all of a sudden.
I don't want to spend any. I don't want to not enjoy myself. I mean, like, it's not a vacation by any means, but if you're not, like, directing's fun. It's, I get to have all of these overqualified people make my dumb ideas come to life, and then I get to go to film festivals and talk about myself for an hour. Like, yes. I'm here for the enjoyment. I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's awesome, man. Well, I wish we were doing this in person. I'd been telling everyone we're gonna have to up the budget next year, and hopefully everyone can travel again, and we'll have to bring all the 2020 folks out to Wichita for a weekend or something, because it's always a good time here at Tallgrass. But thank you so much for joining me virtually and making time to talk about your films. This has been an awesome conversation.
Thanks, man. I hope you pull something out of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got books and quotes and wisdom. You got everything. Well, I mean, anything you got going on right now? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a movie about a frog.
Oh,
yeah, it's called Frogfluencer. I was gonna make a movie about a horse, like a famous horse, and it was gonna be called Horsefluence, but horses are really big.
Yeah.
So, and also if you make them in 3D, you have to deal with hair. So I'm going with a frog. Yeah, you heard it here first. If any other fucking asshole makes a short film about a famous frog, like before, you know that they stole it from this. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to timestamp this thing. We are recording this on 10/14/2020.
yeah.
It is 8 o'clock Central Time.
And y'all better give me a festival waiver for it so I could come out and harass you in person
Yes.
in 21, my frog movie.
I look absolutely look forward to it. Hey, thank you so much, Yuma. Thank you, everyone else, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the not just these films, but the rest of the Let's Get Weird shorts block. And yeah, thank you to sponsors and thank you to everyone. Thank you, Yuma. Have a great night. We'll talk soon. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.